and they're going to perform one of Rudyard Kipling's stories, which is somewhat humorous. There might be a few moments setting up microphones.
Hello. This is the story of the Elephant's Child. The Elephant's Child is full of insatiable curiosity, and what he particularly wants to know is what the crocodile has for lunch. So, lest he annoys his relatives any further with his questions, he goes on a long, long search for his answer, winding up finally on the banks of the great grey-green, greasy Limpopo River. Here he finds the bicoloured python rock snake curled around a rock.
Excuse me, but have you seen such a thing as a crocodile in these promiscuous parts?
Have I seen a crocodile? What will you ask me next?
Excuse me, but could you kindly tell me what he has for dinner?
Then the bicoloured python rock snake uncoiled himself very quickly from around the rock and spanked the elephant child with his scalesome, flailsome tail.
That is odd, because my father, and my mother, and my uncle, and my aunt, not to mention my other aunt, the hippopotamus, and my other uncle, the baboon, have all spanked me for my insatiable curiosity. But I suppose that this is the same thing. Goodbye.
The elephant's child went on, a little warm but not at all astonished, eating melons and throwing the rind about, because he could not pick it up, until he trod on what he thought was a log of wood, at the very edge of the great grey-green, greasy Limpopo River. But the log was really the crocodile, and the crocodile winked one eye.
Excuse me, but do you happen to have seen a crocodile in these promiscuous parts?
Come hither, little one. Why do you ask such things?
Excuse me, but my father has spanked me, my mother has spanked me, not to mention my tall aunt, the ostrich, and my tall uncle, the giraffe, who can kick ever so hard, as well as my broad aunt, the hippopotamus, and my hairy uncle, the baboon, and including the bicoloured python rock snake, with his scalesome, flailsome tail, just up the bank, who spanks harder than any of them. And so, if it's quite all the same to you, I don't want to be spanked anymore.
Come hither, little one, for I am the crocodile.
And he wept crocodile tears to show it was quite true. Then the elephant's child grew all breathless and panted and kneeled down on the bank.
You are the very person I've been looking for all of these long days. Will you please tell me what you have for dinner?
Come hither, little one, and I'll whisper.
So the elephant's child put his head down close to the crocodile's musky, tusky mouth, and the crocodile caught him by his little nose, which up to that very week, day, hour, and minutes, had been no bigger than a boot, though much more useful.
I think today I will begin with Elephant's Child.
Oh, you're hurting me.
Then the elephant's child sat back on his little haunches and pulled and pulled and pulled, and his nose began to stretch, and the crocodile floundered into the water, making it all creamy with great sweeps of his tail, and he pulled and pulled and pulled. Then the elephant's child felt his legs slipping, and he said through his nose, which was now nearly 5 feet long,
"Oh, this is too much for me."
Then the bicoloured python rock snake came down from the bank and knotted himself in a double-clove hitch around the elephant child's hind legs, and said,
Rash and inexperienced traveller, we will now seriously devote ourselves to a little high tension. Because if we do not, it is my impression that yonder self-propelling man of war with the armour-plated upper deck will permanently vitiate your future career.
By this, he meant the crocodile. This is the way that all bicoloured python rock snakes talk. On and on went the pulling, but you will be glad to hear that the elephant's child and the bicoloured python rock snake pulled the hardest, so that at last the crocodile let go of the elephant's child nose, with a plop that you could hear all up and down the Limpopo River. And with all the useful things you can do with a 5-foot nose, including spanking relatives, you can see why the elephants you will ever see always have a trunk precisely the length of the insatiable elephant's child.